I was so lonely it hurt, but every single time someone tried to talk to me, I walked away. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. My life was basically just me, my Roblox account, and my grandma. My mom worked 2 jobs, so I barely saw her. My grandma lived with us and she was sick. Really sick. After school, I would come home and take care of her, make her tea, help her to the bathroom, sit with her while she watched her shows, every single day. I did not mind taking care of her. I loved her. But it meant I never went anywhere, never hung out with anyone. My best friend since elementary school, Maya, moved to a different state in 7th grade. After that, I had literally nobody. And honestly, I kind of gave up. At lunch, I would sit alone at the corner table near the vending machines. I would eat my sandwich, scroll through Roblox on my phone, and pretend I did not care that everyone else was laughing and talking in their groups. But I did care. I cared so much. The weird part was people tried. Actually tried to include me. There was this one time in English class when we had to do group work, and this girl Emma asked if I wanted to join her group. They were all laughing about something, and she smiled at me and waved me over. I looked at her friends, and I said no thanks, I will work alone. The teacher made me join a group anyway, but I barely talked. I just did my part of the project and put my headphones in. Another time, I was sitting outside during break, and these 2 girls from my math class came up to me. They said they liked my Roblox avatar because they had seen me playing on my phone. They asked what games I liked. I could have had a whole conversation. They were being so nice. But I panicked. I said something like, "Oh, just whatever," and then I pretended I got a text and walked away. I went to the bathroom and locked myself in a stall and felt like the biggest idiot in the world. Why did I keep doing this? Why did I push people away when being alone was literally killing me inside? I think part of me was scared. Scared that if I let someone in, they would leave like Maya did. Or scared that they would find out how boring my life was. What was I supposed to say? Oh yeah, after school I go home and watch TV with my sick grandma and play Roblox until midnight because I have nothing else to do. That did not exactly sound cool. So I kept shutting people out, and I kept feeling more and more invisible. Until there was this guy in my history class. His name was Tyler. At first, I did not even notice him. He was just another person in the classroom. But then one day, he sat next to me, not because he had to. The seat next to me was always empty, and he just chose to sit there. I did not say anything. I figured he would move the next day. But he did not. He sat next to me the next class, and the next one, and he did not really talk to me at first. He would just say small things, like "hey" when he sat down, or "that test was rough" after we finished an exam. I would nod or say yeah, and that was it. But he kept sitting there. After 2 weeks, he started making little jokes. Our history teacher, Mr. Barnes, had this thing where he would always mispronounce historical names, and Tyler would lean over and whisper the correct pronunciation to me, and I would try not to laugh. It was small, but it was something. One day, I was having the worst day ever. My grandma had fallen that morning, and I had to help her up, and she cried because she felt embarrassed. I was late to school. I forgot my lunch. I was just done with everything. I sat in history class, and I could feel myself about to cry. I was staring at my desk, trying to hold it together. Tyler sat down next to me, and he did not say hey like usual. He just quietly slid a pack of crackers onto my desk. The good kind, like the cheese and peanut butter ones. I looked at him, confused. He shrugged and said, "You look like you needed a snack." That was it, that was all he said. But I swear it almost made me cry harder, in a good way. I whispered thank you, and he just nodded and opened his textbook like it was not a big deal. After that, I started talking to him a little more. Not much, but more than I talked to anyone else. He would ask me stuff, like what games I played on Roblox, what my favorite movie was, normal stuff. And I would actually answer. It felt weird at first, like I was out of practice at having conversations, but Tyler never made it feel awkward. If I gave a short answer, he would just roll with it and keep talking. Then, a few months into the school year, he invited me to sit with him and his friends at lunch. I almost said no. My automatic response was already forming in my head. some excuse about needing to finish homework or whatever. But Tyler looked at me and said, "Come on, it will be fun. They are cool, I promise." So I said okay. I literally felt like I was going to throw up as I walked to their table. His friends were these loud, funny people who all seemed to know each other forever. I was terrified they would think I was weird or boring. But they were nice. They made space for me. They asked me questions. They laughed at something I said about a Roblox game we all played. And for the first time in forever, I did not feel invisible. I started sitting with them every day. I started talking more in class. I even hung out with them on Roblox after school sometimes when my grandma was napping. Tyler had this way of just including me in things without making it a big deal. If someone made an inside joke I did not get, he would explain it. If I was quiet, he would ask my opinion on something. He just made it easy to be his friend. For the first time since Maya left, I felt like I had people again. I felt like I mattered. But then the school year ended, and when we came back in the fall, Tyler and I had completely different schedules, different classes, different lunch periods. I barely saw him, maybe in the hallway sometimes, and we would wave, but that was it. I still had some of the other friends from the group, but it was not the same. They were nice, but Tyler was the one who really got me, the one who saw me when I was invisible. Months passed, I moved on, I guess. I had other friends now. My grandma got a little better with new medication. My life was not perfect, but it was better than it had been. But I thought about Tyler all the time. I thought about how he chose to sit next to me when no one else did, how he gave me crackers on the worst day, how he refused to let me disappear. He did not know it, but he saved me. He saved me from drowning in my own loneliness. He showed me that I was not too broken or too boring to be someone's friend. Last week, I saw him in the hallway before school. We had not really talked in months. I stopped him and said, "Hey, Tyler." He turned around and smiled. "Hey, what is up?" I did not really know what to say. How do you tell someone they saved your life without making it weird? So I just said, "I never really thanked you for, being my friend when I really needed one. It meant a lot." He looked surprised. Then he smiled bigger and said, "Of course. You were always cool. I am glad we were friends." Were past tense, because we were not really friends anymore, just people who used to know each other. But that was okay. Because Tyler taught me something important. He taught me that letting people in is not as scary as being alone. That sometimes the right person will see you, even when you are trying to hide. I still think about him sometimes. About those months when he sat next to me in history class and made me feel like I existed. I do not know if he knows how much that meant, probably not. But I will never forget it. He showed up when I needed someone most. And even though we are not close anymore, even though we drifted apart, that does not make it matter less. Some people come into your life for a season, not forever, just long enough to change everything. Tyler was that person for me. And wherever he is, whatever he is doing, I hope he knows that he made a difference. That he pulled someone out of the dark without even realizing it. Because he did. He pulled me out. And I will always be grateful for that.